Manchester United's midfield is in for a massive shake-up. We're breaking down the hunt for a new number 6 to replace the departing Casemiro, with top targets like Elliott Anderson and Carlo's Baleba on the radar. Will Champions League qualification seal the deal for these big names? Plus, who's the next manager to take the Old Trafford hot seat? Gary Neville has his say on the candidates, with Michael Carrick impressing, but is an elite manager like Luis Enrique or Thomas Tuchel still the ultimate prize? And is a Premier League star a bargain waiting to happen? We're looking at Wolves Joao Gomes, who could be available for a cut price as the club faces relegation. Could he be the answer to United's midfield woes? We're diving deep into all the breaking United news, so buckle up and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Manchester United's midfield search is heating up as they look to replace the legendary Casemiro. The club is targeting a new defensive midfielder, a crucial number 6 role to bolster their squad for next season. Key figures like football director Jason Wilcox and CEO Omar Berrada are leading the charge in this critical transfer window. The success of this pursuit hinges on two major factors: securing Champions League qualification, which remains a significant lure for top talent, and the final decision on who will be the permanent head coach. While interim boss Michael Carrick is making a strong case with impressive results, the allure of an established elite manager is also a major consideration for the INEOS group. Among the primary targets is Nottingham Forest's Elliott Anderson, who has shown despite his team's struggles and is poised for an England call-up. However, a significant hurdle exists. Manchester City are reportedly the frontrunners to sign Anderson, who is valued at a minimum of £80 million. Despite this, United are prepared to make a substantial effort to secure him, drawing parallels to how they secured Benjamin Sesko against other top clubs. United are not solely focused on Anderson, exploring other options like Brighton's Carlo's Baleba, though a reported £100 million valuation presents a financial challenge. Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton is also admired, but his playing style might not be the perfect fit. Newcastle's Sandro Tonali is another name in the mix, with suggestions he might be open to a move. The club is also monitoring players like Atalanta's Ederson. The strategy might even involve signing 2 defensive midfielders, especially if Manuel Ugarte departs. The transfer budget will also be influenced by potential exits of players like Rasmus Højlund and Marcus Rashford, and will need to cover a left-winger and possibly a central defender. However, the acquisition of a new number 6 remains the top priority. Don't go anywhere, because the managerial situation at Old Trafford is just as explosive. Next, we're unpacking Gary Neville's top picks for the permanent manager role and whether Luis Enrique is still in play. Manchester United could be on the verge of a summer bargain with Wolves midfielder Joao Gomes as the club prepares for a significant midfield overhaul. With Wolves facing likely relegation, the 25-year-old Brazilian is expected to be available for transfer, and his recent performances have put him firmly on United's radar. Gomes has been instrumental in Wolves' improved showings, notably in victories against Aston Villa and Liverpool, even scoring against Villa. His consistent displays in the Premier League have not only made him a vital player for Wolves, but have also earned him a place in the Brazil squad. Arriving at Molineux from Flamengo for around £16 million in the summer of 2023, Gomes signed a new contract last April. However, his release clause will likely become active given Wolves' precarious league position. This situation presents a potential bargain for United, who are actively seeking to fill the void left by Casemiro's departure and the anticipated exit of Manuel Ugarte. Under the guidance of INEOS, United's recruitment strategy prioritizes Premier League experience. While Elliott Anderson remains a key target, Manchester City's strong interest poses a challenge. Carlo's Baleba and Adam Wharton are also on the shortlist, alongside Bournemouth's Alex Scott. Furthermore, Newcastle's midfielders are being monitored, with Sandro Tonali potentially seeking a move and Bruno Guimaraes also attracting attention from clubs like Real Madrid. But who will be leading this new-look United midfield? The manager question is far from settled. Get ready as we dive into the strong opinions of Gary Neville on who should take the helm at Old Trafford. Gary Neville has laid down a clear marker for Manchester United's managerial future, strongly advocating against Michael Carrick's permanent appointment despite the interim boss's impressive start. Neville, a United legend, believes the club must aim for the absolute best in the world to lead their next project. When Carrick took over as interim head coach, Neville was unequivocal. The job should not be Carrick's permanently. His stance remains firm, even as Carrick has achieved 7 wins in his first 9 games, significantly boosting United's top 4 hopes. Neville argues that while Carrick's performance is making his case stronger each week, the club's ambition should still be focused on securing a manager with proven elite-level experience. Neville points to the recent managerial history at United: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, Erik ten Hag, and Ruben Amorim, suggesting none have been truly great managers, but rather potentially great. He emphasizes the need for someone who has navigated the immense pressure and scrutiny of managing super clubs, citing Luis Enrique, Carlo Ancelotti, and Thomas Tuchel as prime examples. These individuals, he believes, possess the stature to attract the world's best players. While Neville acknowledges that Carrick's continued success makes it harder to maintain his position, he maintains that if United can secure one of his top choices, they should. He suggests that if those elite options are unavailable, then Carrick could be considered a fallback. Neville particularly favors Luis Enrique, citing his success at Barcelona and PSG and his suitability for the head coach role within the INEOS structure. But is an elite manager like Luis Enrique even a realistic option for United right now? We've got the latest update on whether PSG will let him go and who's really the frontrunner for the job. Manchester United's pursuit of a top-tier manager appears to have hit a significant snag, with reports indicating that PSG is prepared to block any move for their current boss, Luis Enrique. This news comes as interim manager Michael Carrick continues to impress, potentially solidifying his position as the clear frontrunner for the permanent role. Since parting ways with Ruben Amorim earlier this year, United have seen Carrick deliver a remarkable 7 wins in his first 9 Premier League games. This impressive run has not only boosted the team's Champions League qualification chances, but has also amplified calls for Carrick to be handed the reins permanently. While United's initial plan was to appoint an established elite manager, Carrick's performance is making him an increasingly compelling candidate. However, the path to securing a high-profile manager like Enrique seems fraught with difficulty. Journalist Ben Jacobs reports that Enrique's contract with PSG extends until the summer of 2027, and the French club, through sporting director Luis Campos and president Nasser Al-Khelaifi, is reportedly unwilling to sanction his departure, despite Enrique's known aspirations to manage in the Premier League. This response suggests that United's hopes of appointing Enrique are likely to be a no. The uncertainty surrounding the managerial appointment continues, with the club reportedly interviewing candidates already. Former Premier League manager Tim Sherwood questioned the availability of compelling alternatives to Carrick, suggesting that only Carlo Ancelotti stands out as an undeniable option. Sam Allardyce, on the other hand, believes Carrick has been fortunate with his fixtures and coaching support, particularly the addition of Steve Holland, but acknowledges Carrick's understanding of the club. From the dugout to the midfield engine room, Manchester United is facing massive changes. Stick around as we wrap up all the biggest stories in our lightning round recap. And that's a wrap on all the breaking Manchester United news. We've covered the massive midfield rebuild with targets like Elliott Anderson and Joao Gomes, Gary Neville's strong opinions on the managerial race with Luis Enrique and Michael Carrick in the spotlight, and the latest on who might be leading the club next season. Don't miss a single update. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Plus, give us a follow on all our social channels for even more exclusive content.